Hello everybody and welcome. Now today we're going to try something new. Not just for the channel, but for me. I'm going to make something that I've never made before and we're going to film it. What could go wrong? Let's jump straight into the deep end together and make Pavlova. Today's recipe is going to come from a pretty strange source. It's a cookbook that I wrote in college with recipes designed for students, so easy and inexpensive. And I called it the aesthetic cookbook, where I make an argument that food is something that could be viewed as art. I was a philosophy major. I also didn't have much of a sweet tooth, so I had no dessert recipes in there, and I was advised I should. So I asked my mom for her favorite dessert recipe, and voila, a chocolate pavlova. Here you go. I actually love this pavlova. I've just only had hers. I've never made it for myself. So let's just give it a go, since this channel encourages you guys to be experimenting and trying new things out. Let's try something out ourselves. Okay. Today's ingredient list is quite simple. It's basically eggs and sugar. We're making a meringue, essentially, is what a pavlova is. But unlike a traditional meringue that you might be familiar to, we're gonna add some acid and a little bit of cornstarch. And that, while it is baking, is actually gonna keep the middle kind of gooey, more marshmallowy is what it's called, and the outside is gonna be more crisp. So it's kind of a different consistency that most people are familiar with meringues. The recipe calls for 4 egg whites, so I have 4 eggs. It also cups for about a cup of fine sugar. I don't have fine sugar, I have granulated sugar, but, and this is a nice little tip, if you have granulated sugar in a food processor or a blender, just blitz it and you get fine sugar. So let's do just that. Oh, this isn't even on, right? Hold on. Oh gosh, this is off to a... It's a little sugar smoke in here. Okay. Well, I think that did something. I mean, sure. Another order of housekeeping that we should take care of is preheat our oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit or about 140 degrees Celsius. That's going. Okay, now that we've completed the first step, the second is beat the egg whites until small peaks form. Simple enough. Okay, probably need to separate them. So we're looking for just the egg whites. Yolks are so fragile. Okay, 4. There we go. All right, so I need to beat into small peaks, not a lot of information there, so let's just do it. Small peaks. And then beat in the sugar a spoonful at a time until the meringue is stiff and shiny. Okay. That is a lot of sugar we got to do. Let's get a big spoon. I mean, I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. So, all right, next step is sprinkle in the cacao. So I have 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, sifted. Ooh. And then we're also gonna put in 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Be precise when you're baking, Paul, okay? And for our acid, we need 1 tablespoon of vinegar. We're gonna use balsamic vinegar. Gently fold everything until the cacao is mixed in. Okay. Seems like I should use the mixer for this. We have a baking pan here, baking sheet, and I have some parchment paper. This was a cool little trick that I saw like putting a little bit down in each corner to help your parchment paper stay put. Oh yeah. I'll try and build it up. So a pavlova, unlike a meringue, should rise a little bit in the oven. And it's also going to crack and look a little wrong. So that's normal if it happens, or so I've been told. This is kind of the fun part, you know, you get to create whatever you want to. I kind of like to be able to have a little bit of structure going on here. Place on the center rack of your preheated oven, then immediately turn the temperature down to 275 and cook for about 1 to 1.25 hours. When it's ready, it should look crisp around the edges and on the sides and be dry on top, but soft in the center. Turn off the oven, open the door slightly, and let the chocolate meringue disc cool completely. Okay, let's see what happens. And then set a timer for an hour and we'll check on it. So I'll see you back then. Hey, Mom.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
I'm making your Pavlova recipe.
Oh, how exciting! Is this what you're filming?
Yeah, I'm actually filming right now.
Did you guess on this, or do you have the recipe?
I have the recipe. I put it in my cookbook.
That's right. Okay, I remember now. Yeah. All right.
I don't know, like, what's one thing that you really love about it, I guess?
What I love about it is it feels very decadent and rich, and it's airy and light. And are you doing the heavy cream with the raspberries?
I am, yeah. We haven't filmed that yet, but that's next.
Okay. I'm so excited, Pablo.
Yeah, I'll have to...
It's me, but it's actually Nigella, Nigella Lawson, Lawson.
All right, well, we'll make sure that Nigella and all her lawyers know about it.
Later, I love you.
Okay, love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye. While we're waiting for the pavlova to finish cooking, I'm gonna make the whipped cream. Per the recipe, I need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Now, I don't say this explicitly in the instructions, but I have a feeling based off of the photo that was provided that I don't want it to be too thick of a whipped cream, but we do want it to have some body to it. So it's gonna whisk away. And this is right where we want it, just some little soft peaks. We'll refrigerate this and just keep waiting for the pavlova to finish. Okay, we're about 1 hour and 15 minutes into our bake. I have a sneaking suspicion this is done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off our oven. And that's a nice look at our pavlova. I'm pretty happy with it. Amazing. I'm just gonna let it cool in the oven. Well, it looks fantastic. There's just a little bit of cracking, but I thought it literally would have cracked a lot more, and it maintained its shape so well. It looks fantastic. Okay, let's get it off of this. And it should, oh my goodness, wow. Huh. It's amazing. I'm actually really impressed that that worked so well. I don't know what to do. I'm speechless. Okay, let's make a slice. Now, I've seen a lot of recipes, and it's basically we take our whipped cream, and we put it on top, we put a bunch of berries, and then we just serve it as a big show-stopping piece. So since we're gonna be eating this just at home, we're just gonna do slice by slice. Wow. That's crazy. It is gooey on the inside, which is what we were looking for, but this top part actually stayed pretty firm. We'll put a big, old, healthy dollop on the top of it, kind of let it run down. This is an 85% dark chocolate, and just kind of shave it over the top. We'll add a few raspberries to the mix, and there you have it. Pavlova, the first time made in this kitchen, the first time I've ever made pavlova. It's a great recipe for those in your family that are gluten intolerant. It's a perfect dessert for the summer. I really hope that you guys give this a shot. It's a super simple recipe and it looks stunning. I think we'll have to label this one a success. They can't all be successes, but I am sure happy when they are. So from my kitchen to yours, happy cooking, and be sure to experiment on new things, everybody. Take good care.